All right, so we should be live, but I don't see
Let me see.
anybody on here.
There it is.
Okay, here we are.
Yeah, but click on it. I thought if you clicked on it, it would go bigger. Huh? There, like that. Yeah, now you're like on it.
Okay, so now the right comments.
Yeah,
All right.
that wasn't Jimmy barking.
No, I think
Oh shit! I gotta mute that. Sorry.
is that recording from before?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, it's live.
Cool. Let's see.
It's live, but there's a delay. All right. All right. So okay. Well, we have some questions actually already. I think.
Oh wow.
Brenda Lane Walters, I think. How y'all doing? Got terrible service. Mic drop. All right. Let's see. We could start actually entertaining questions. I think.
Yeah, it looks like they're showing up. Yeah.
So, Randy, can you see? Can you see what I see? I don't know what you can see.
Yeah, I can see on the right. It's got how you do. Service might drop. Yeah, the message is on the side.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're still a little bit early. We're not supposed to start for another 3 minutes or whatever. And
Right.
I'm totally curious as to whether this is also streaming on. Supposed to be streaming on Facebook, Twitter,
Oh wow.
Rumble. Um, Actually, my Facebook account. So it's supposed to YouTube. So it's supposed to be streaming on several platforms. So
Cool.
I don't know if you have access to YouTube. Maybe I'll check out YouTube on my phone.
Yeah, I turned mine off because there's people blowing up my.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so what do we got here? We got Bonnie Sawyer. Hey y'all, hey Bonnie. Let's see.
So mine doesn't show who it is. It just says Facebook user.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a big issue. I'll just.
My eyes. Does
As
this
long as
look
you
like
can
I
see
need
them.
glasses? I feel like maybe I need some glasses. I'll just make the screen bigger. All right. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you for letting us know that because Bonnie is familiar with how silly ignorant I am when it comes to the IT world. So I'm glad that we actually got this far so far,
Yeah.
and we are actually starting. All right, so it's 7 o'clock, so we can go ahead and just start chit chat. And if somebody has any questions, obviously you could just hit us on the right side of the screen there. And then we'll address each question as it comes up.
Good.
Brenda, thank you. Hey, listen, I did want to talk about a couple things that I go through the page, Randy, like we're constantly trolling on this, trying to get everybody's questions answered and everything like that. And I wanted to thank you and Mike Bott. Thank him a lot because he contributes quite a bit, and we rely on research. Bonnie is great. All of you guys. I mean, I don't even want to leave anybody out, but there's probably a solid 8 or 10 people that really take a lot of the pressure off of me trying to get to everybody, and you overlook sometimes, So, and you guys really do great research. I learn a lot from all of your all stuff. So please continue to do that. Let's see. The preventative protocol, is that what we're talking about, Brenda? Is there a preventative protocol? Well, I think it says prevent protocol, but I'm assuming that you mean preventative or somewhat of a prophylactic protocol. That would be for me. It was pretty much the same 5-ingredient cocktail. I just lowered my dosage of the fenbendazole. So I still spread it out 8 hours apart, but I just it went from like a 3,000, up to 3,000 milligram dose to a less than 1,000 milligram dose. So that's what I did, and that's what I use as a prophylactic type of thing, a maintenance. I call it a maintenance dose, but honestly, my wife twice a year, my wife she'll get on it for 3 or 4 weeks, twice a year, just kind of as a cleanse. I think that's it seems to be kind of a common thing. The more I mention that, the more I find out that other people do it. But Randy, you have some sort of a cancer condom, so to speak?
Yeah,
Just
yeah, I
a
sure do.
prophylactic.
Yeah, I sure do. So yeah, I have a lot of components in mine, and obviously that'd be for the active cancer. But as far as prophylactic, I narrowed it down to 6 items, and that's based on covering the immune system, stem cells, killer, and blocking the cancer pathway. So what I have is from my list is the fisetin, and forgive me if I pronounce these wrong, but fisetin, the turkey tail, that's a heavy hitter, berberine, and obviously the dewormer. So that components to cover those areas. And I agree, it's a good idea to be on a prophylactic, whether you've ever had cancer or not. I'm on it myself. I'm taking about 9 of those daily, and I feel great. Just
Now, for how long?
aging alone, as you get older, increases your cancer risk from your, just like a car. A good an analogy is like a car. A brand new car runs great. The older it gets, the worse it runs. So the same with the human body. As you age, things slow down. You can't flush out radicals, and that increases your risk. So yeah, I think preventive is a good idea for everybody.
Yeah, well, for how long and to what end? Like I told you, my wife did every 6 months she'll do it, and then she only does it twice a year. And I think as a cleanse type of thing, that's one thing. But if you've had disease and then you're getting rid of disease or trying to keep it gone or whatever you want to call it, maintenance stage, what do you think? What do you think there's a difference between a maintenance type thing where you had disease versus somebody who's trying to prevent ever getting a disease?
I honestly,
and how long would
it would depend. I know age. I mean, if you're young and healthy, say in your 20s or 30s, I would you could probably do but me personally, I'm pushing 60 or getting there, so I'm going to do my six components for the rest of my life. I'm going to do it, I'm not going to get off of it, because once that gets out of your system, then you still have the issues of flushing radicals and your body slowing down. So that's my thought
And
process.
I think that well, that last episode that I did on the autophagy, I think that balancing that autophagy, not having too much die off without eradicating the die off, or having a buildup of die off without eradicating it, and then you're cancer feeding on it. That comes into play also. So I think that. Oh, hold on a second. I didn't want to skip over. Uh, does it matter that the Fenben doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier? Yeah, absolutely, it matters. You want to jab at that, Randy?
Sure. Depending on your cancer type, both Fenbid and ivermectin are barrier readily, if at all. So I know ivermectin does not. Fenbid is very weak, if at all. So if you don't have any brain mets or brain cancer, then sure, Fenbid or Safeguard, those are fine. But if you have the issue of brain mets or brain cancer, then I would suggest in my protocol I have the albendazole, which 100% crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it's over the counter, so it's not prescribed. And so that's it just depends, on what your situation is really.
Yeah, that's why people wonder. They'll get into a question to me, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I have cancer, stage 4, blah 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 blah," and then they'll just gloss over what kind of cancer. Or well, I have metastasis to this place, that place, this place. Well, what's the underlying cancer?
Right.
And it is relevant, because I'm not going to give you my protocol if you have brain cancer, or if you have small cell lung that went to your brain, or whatever. Like, I'm not going to suggest this if the crossing the blood brain barrier is going to come into play. I would refer them to your protocol, because
Right.
of the efficacy with crossing the I just say because it's blood brain barrier.
BBB, yeah.
It's quicker. Say it 3 times fast. So, so it's been a long day, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm brand new. Do many people do the protocol after? Can you see?
Things.
Can you see the question, Randy? Because
Oh, I think they meant
I need glasses. I think.
other things have failed.
I can you see these questions?
Yeah,
Randy?
I can. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing you are, I believe.
It's just that
Let's see.
you're wearing glasses. I can't see. um, my 44-year-old son was just diagnosed with hairy cell leukemia. Otherwise, very healthy, but I think he.
To hear me about the protocol.
I think the doctor's trying to get. All right. Okay. Well, our prayers go out to you. That's terrible. I thought that was going to be a question. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
So
understanding. It sounds like to me that they're not on any protocol at all, is what I'm getting out of it.
yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to read into it. But hey,
Yeah.
Randy, repeat the 6 that you take. The 6 that you take. Somebody was trying to write that down. Sandy Lynn.
Sure. It's the fisetin, the turkey tail, an autotocotrienol, the turmeric, and the fenbendazole.
All right, Brenda Ellie, did you guys hear that one? He said it cut out and they missed it, so I just wanted to make sure that they got it. Standard treatment or protocol. So, are, is that a question of whether I would recommend Western medicine versus a protocol, or what's that question?
Yeah, I'm not understanding it.
All right, Brenda, you guys got the 6 ingredients there, Randy's protocol, so that's good. So this is working. So this is like,
It's working, yeah.
um, it's it's like I'm so lost when it comes to technical stuff. So I'm really excited for myself that we even got this much done. Do people skip right to the protocol rather than chemo? Okay, at least I'm hearing you now. So, uh, first of all, turkey tail is in AHCC, yes. And do people skip right to the protocol rather than chemo? That's a personal choice, I think. I think that you know what, this is your cross to bear, and nobody else can make that decision but you. I personally would not recommend you opt out of anything. You have cancer, and you should throw everything possible at this disease. I don't vilify Western medicine. I don't listen. Western medicine kept me alive long enough to find repurposed medicine. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They Western medicine is not going to cure your disease. It's just not going to. I mean, they're not going to do anything that's going to cure your
No.
disease. They'll string you along for as long as you can. But just scientifically speaking, chemotherapy does not eradicate disease. It suppresses it. It goes dormant, whatever you want to call it. But it's not going to pull. It'll mow the lawn. It's not going to pull it out from the roots. And it will come back unless you get it from the root. So I don't vilify Western medicine. Western medicine did exactly what Western medicine was supposed to do. It kept me alive long enough for me to find a solution. So, but I think in addition to that big long rant that I just made, I think also it's been shown that the efficacy of both this protocol and Randy's protocol, I think any anti-parasitic protocol, I think it enhances the efficacy of the chemotherapy. And I do think that there's studies on that. Randy, can you comment on that?
On what part now?
I think that
As far as both.
I think most anti-parasitic protocols are going to enhance the efficacy of the chemotherapy anyway.
Right. Yeah. In essence, the Western medicine will weaken the cancer, so to speak, and then the protocol on top of that, it will make it more effective. Right.
Teresa, can you send me the link where to order all the meds to the protocol? Data stage 4. All right. So listen, that's a pretty popular question in the last couple of weeks or a couple of days. As far as my protocol goes, pretty much everything can be sourced on Amazon. The only thing that I choose not to get on Amazon from my 5 ingredient protocol, the only thing that I don't get on Amazon, and only reason being is because they're too small of an applicator. I like getting the larger applicators of the fenbendazole paste that I take. On Amazon, you can get them in the 25-gram tube. If you go on Tractor Supply or Chewy.com, you could get the 92-gram and even a 290-gram caulking tube of it. So I prefer to get it in the larger dose. So I split my order between the Tractor Supply and Amazon. So that's a pretty big question the last couple of days. So I hope that kind of clarifies things. Randy, you pretty much get all of your stuff on Amazon,
Yeah,
or do you
most
go
of it.
to
Yeah,
different websites?
a couple are like
Is there
vet
anything
supplies.
special that you do to find? What's that?
Yeah, the only thing would be the albendazole. You have to get that from a vet source.
Yeah. What about that? The albendazole. How do you source that?
It's well, I got a link for it. It's a vet supply. Um, gosh, I don't know offhand without clicking on it, but it's basically like Chewy. Uh, you know, Olivet is another good one, but I think it's a specific one that I put on my link. But it is a basically a vet supply. It's a
That's
larger one.
that's on that's on your that's a hot link on your protocol.
Yeah, the links. Yeah, you click on the
Listed.
link.
So that's in the announcement section on the page, right?
Right. Yeah.
What's all these are found on Amazon? Gotta love Bonnie, man. Bonnie's always she's on the ball.
Yeah,
Where you been lately, Bonnie? I haven't seen you policing up the page a little bit. Hey, all you guys that contribute on the page, man, thank you guys so much. Uh, how much of the fenbendazole paste do I take in milligrams? So in milligrams, I take. It depends on if you have disease or not. When I had disease, I took upward in the amount of. It was an approximate dosage of 888 to about 1,000 milligrams. It was kind of depending on how heavy-handed you were when you squeezed it out onto the spoon, um, and I spread that out, um, 3 doses a day. So when I had active disease, I was whacking it every day with like almost 3,000 milligrams. And then once I got clean scans, I dialed it back to just doing 1,000 milligrams, but I spread that over 3 days, or I'm sorry, 3 doses also. So there's that answer. Randy, pick out a question, man.
Here we go. Okay. Is Fenbid preferred? Which one is preferred? So totally
It depends
different.
on what disease.
Yeah, they're two totally different wormers. Depend on your cancer. Each one is more effective than the other one. Certain cancers. One good thing about ivermectin is it's longer lasting in the body. So what the effect of what it can do would last longer. But there isn't a single one of each one that is good for all cancers. Better than one or the other. It just depends. One of them is more effective at lung cancer than the other one. So it just depends. One, they're both effective. I wouldn't do them together though. If you're going to take both, you want to pulse them for an entire week, and then vice versa. Go back to the other one the next week. Coach too.
Huh. I actually, I actually was thinking about staggering them.
Ivermectin is harder to
So
source too. The ivermectin is harder to source too.
yeah,
So that's
you can't get well, you can get ivermectin at Tractor Supply.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
I think Chewy.com has it too.
Oh, okay.
You take Fenbid and ivermectin as a preventative if cancer runs in your family. Yeah, I think. Well, we just kind of talked about that, right? So, I mean, if you're going to do
Absolutely,
it
yeah.
as a preventative, yeah, if you're going to do it as a preventative, by all means, I think that what do they say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Doing nothing is not going to help, right? Oh yeah.
Okay, what's this one? Please help with this question. What does that say?
So many do
My
these
father
together.
has stage 4. It says my father has stage 4 colon cancer with met to the peritoneal.
I'm not seeing that.
He's had 2 cycles of chemo and half his colon. All right. So the question is,
I see one
I
there
don't
that says,
understand it. Is your TX?
thanks.
I think it's saying what's the better one out of what I recommended versus what Randy recommended. Is that the question? I'm not sure.
I see one here again. They're asking about taking the ivermectin and fenbid together. I would pulse them. I wouldn't take them at the same time, just because of the fact that you can increase your chance of liver issues and things like that.
Do you see, Randy? Do you see this one that I'm looking at? My father has stage 4 cancer,
No, let's see.
stage 4 colon cancer.
Oh, there it is. Okay, that's after. Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, I can answer. But they're both good treatment. Asking whether to use your treatment or my treatment for that colon cancer. They're both. One thing you've got to consider too is more is not always better. The more you take, the more risk of having reactions or things like that. Or so I mean they're both effective. Um, gosh, that's a choice, I guess. You might have different reactions.
Um,
I mean, that's it just depends. You can always like start on your protocol, and you could always add things to it. That's another option too. But like I said, mine is more designed for those hard to beat cancers or people that are struggling and having issues, and what they're doing is not working. I wouldn't necessarily jump right to it. Like I said, you can any one of those compounds you could have an adverse reaction to. None of it's deadly, so to speak, but heck, can't even take turmeric. So you got to consider that too. Um, I'm one myself. I can take anything, no issue. So I do have a couple people on my protocol, and they're taking all have any major issues, but everybody's different. So you got to think about those things.
all right. I feel like I may have just lost. I'll tell you what. If I just had a better understanding of the technical aspect of things, I wouldn't drive it. Like it just would make everything just so much easier if I know what the hell I'm doing. It's I have more IT issues than anything. Uh,
Can you hear?
yeah, Yeah, I can hear you, but my
Yeah,
thing keeps jumping
I'm
over to like
seeing the questions come in.
it. It jumps over to a badge request or something. I don't know.
I mean, I'm still seeing the questions. Right.
I think I'm back on the questions here. Um, okay, so I think that's the last question that I could see. The last comment that I could see is just Stephanie Conto Seller saying, "Thanks for clearing that up." Do you see something after that?
See, here's one. Here's one. They're asking this person. Let's see. Uh, I can't pronounce it. It's a sarcoma that's in the thigh. EMSO would be good for that. You can use it topically, right on the area where the tumor is. Uh, I would add it in a protocol, not use it, but topically would be good for all tissue. It's got many anti-cancer properties. So it can
Well, I
be,
didn't see.
yeah, they're asking, I can't pronounce it, but it's a sarcoma they have on their thigh. Let's see, because of possible liver issues, absolutely, it's not going to hurt. It's better to do it ahead of time than wait till you do have issues, because it's not a fast acting medicine. It's going to take them to build up, so it's not going to be like, you're protected. So yeah, I would absolutely do that ahead of time. Somebody asked my protocol. Well, helping him. He had pancreatic. I had him on Joe Tippin's protocol, which did not work. So in hindsight of that, I spent the next 2 years finding out, one, why didn't it work, which I did for many reasons, and then two, I wanted to make sure I had a protocol that was good, and because there's so many pathways. You have the 8 primary, like evasion from the immune system, the main pathways, and then on top of that, you have another 12 pathways that are signaling pathways, which tell the other ones what to do. So I wanted to. Mine was designed specifically because of how deadly, and I didn't risk to beat. They have the normal metastasis, and because the main tumor protects itself, it builds an armor, a protein armor, and on top of that, it collapses blood vessels to it. And another thing is it has 3 normal cancers. And to top it off, it can live for a very long time with no oxygen or blood supply. So it's a nasty one. That's the madness products in my protocol. But it has, so far, I've got one pancreatic 100% NED already. His numbers were down to 49 and they're normal up to 37. So, and I'm currently helping someone with ovarian and brain cancer. They're doing pretty well. So there is purpose behind everything in my protocol. But like I said, it took me 2 years to develop, make sure it was good and the efficacy and all the sources and everything. So that's
Now, I'm seeing Andrew wants to circle back on the femben milligram dosage if you have active stage 4 non non-small cell lung cancer. Uh, my protocol says 1 milligram daily in the morning. Well, that's my maintenance protocol. If I had that disease and I had active disease, I would do that 3 times a day, spreading it out 8 hours apart. Um, that's what I would do. I tend to hit it with the shock and awe. And there's a few theories that I have behind that. Whether they're true or not is arguable, I guess, but it seemed to work for me, and I feel comfortable doing it that way. So that's kind of, and I mean, I just think that the science supports the half life in your body. It needs to be spread out. So I do about a. An approximate dosage, and it's up to about 1,000 milligrams 3 times a day. So I do that in the morning, and then again at dinner time, and then again at bedtime. So that's the answer to that. And if I had that kind of active disease, I would definitely do. I'd hit it with a heavy dosage, But what are your thoughts on that, Randy?
Yeah, I agree. The half life of Fenbin is roughly 8 hours, meaning after that 8 hours is complete. Obviously, you want to keep it in your system. Cancer does, it's more active at night. Many people know that, but when you're sleeping at night, it's more active. So, that's a good reason to have it, especially in the morning and at night. Yeah.
Is that true? Is that true? Is it really?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I did not know
Yeah.
that. What? Why is that? Why so?
I think just the way your body, because you eat mode, then your body's, burning off those calories and doing whatever it's doing. I've got a study on it, but yeah, it's just because we're active and moving around, you're taking things, and your body's basically burning up, the stuff in your body. When you're asleep, you're not moving, you're not, you know, nothing's going to your muscles, not going to your muscles. It's all dormant, so it's all kind of just sitting there stagnant for the cancer to feed on, I guess, so to speak. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, I think that falls into autophagy, I guess, right?
Yeah, because like for example, exercising, you're taking the glutamine away from the cancer and put it into your muscles. So that's one way to look at it. When you're dormant, you're stagnant, so cancer can just do it pretty much.
What about middle school age children? Um, are they asking for a dosage for middle school age children? I'm not really sure. Debbie, can you elaborate on that a little bit? Debbie Allen Martin. Ask that question a little bit better. She's not talking. So, oh, TX means treatment. I didn't know that. You guys have like some pretty cool jargon going on in these little cancer
Yeah,
networks that you. I didn't know the TX. I thought it meant thanks. I didn't know.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Or, yeah, I didn't know exercising takes glutamine away. Yeah, it takes it out of the
Yeah,
equation and feeds the
goes to your
muscles.
muscles. Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay. So we still don't have a good question on the middle school age children. I don't. I don't understand the question. So if she doesn't elaborate, can't really.
My
Can't
guess is
really
they're
give a good
asking if
answer to
to
that.
put on a protocol. Guess that's my guess.
Put them on a protocol.
Yeah, that's
at that
my
age?
guess is they're
Like as a
asking
prophylactic?
it. Well, no, if a middle-aged kid that may possibly have, is it okay to do a protocol? And that's my
Okay.
guess.
Yeah. Um,
Uh, Someone asked, should meant with glutamine. No, that's not necessary. Berberine, you could add berberine. Berberine blocks all the main fuel pathways, which is glutamine, the glucose, and the fats or lipids. So yeah, you would be
yeah.
blocking that by taking berberine, but exercise does help too.
Yeah, there
So
was a
yeah, I would
couple
supplement
things
with berberine.
I had thought about.
You want
Um,
to,
huh?
yeah, you wouldn't supplement with glutamine because then you're putting glutamine in. But yeah, the berberine would block that too. That and
I had
exercise.
thought I had thought about a couple um, berberine, uh, berberine. I like a hair in my mouth. Berberine, the DMSO, um, the ivermectin. Like I thought about a couple other heavy hitters that I don't have in my protocol, and I mean the reason being is just because I didn't need them at the time, and I didn't want to tamper or add anything after it already was successful for me. I didn't want to rock the boat, so to speak. But ivermectin and the DMSO and the berberine, I think those are like pretty heavy hitters that I may have I, I may have been it may have been more beneficial for me to add those in addition. I just wanted to kind of keep it to 5 ingredients though.
Right. Yeah, the berberine, aggressive cancers in stage 4, they need to feed off of everything. Now, they're not going to say, hey, I just want glucose. No, they're going to feed off glutamine, glucose, and the fats simultaneously. And I learned that the hard way with my dad. And another thing I learned with pancreatic, because it basically sucks everything out of your body, takes the glutamine, the glucose, the fats. I found a study where they did intravenously. They put 10,000 calories a day in this person that had pancreatic, and he still lost weight like crazy. So I think it's really important to block those three, the glutamine, the fats, and the glucose. That just, one good thing to block it from the cancer, starving it off basically, especially if you're stage 4.
So somebody wants to tell Marie. Marie wants us to tell her what Randy's protocol is, and she doesn't see it. Well, you got to look for it if you want to see it. It's in the announcement section on the group page right here, uh, and it says Randy's protocol. I think on it. It's got like a little red check mark at the bottom of it. So Randy's protocol is on this site.
I see someone's asking if Finben blocks glutamine. No, it does not. It blocks the glucose. Berberine does too, but berberine has the addition of blocking the glutamine and the fats and lipids. But no, Finben does not block the glutamine. It blocks the glucose.
Marie says my protocol says 222 milligrams. So she might be talking about your protocol, Randy.
Could be, yeah. It's the powder, yeah. Let me see that question. I don't see it.
This is
Oh, there it is. But I bumped up to higher dose. Okay. Yeah, they're asking about if it's okay to do the lower dose. The reason I have that there is because of everything that's in my protocol. For the DMSO, one of the benefits of that is it helps as a delivery method. It'll increase the bioavailability. It'll increase the absorption. So basically, anything DMSO touches, it absorbs. So it'll put it. So with my as a whole, I have the 222 milligrams twice a day because along with it, it's going to be effective. It's going to go right into your bloodstream.
But
And
here's the big question.
mine is not.
I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
Oh, real quick, just to finish that question. My protocol is pulsed with ivermectin. It's not. It's pulsed with fenbendazole. Albendazole being in there just to cover brain mets and brain cancer. In my protocol, just to touch on that real quick, the melatonin, the DMSO, and the albendazole, all three easily cross the blood-brain barrier. So that's, I'm basically trying to cover everything. So that's why there's so much in there. But yeah, those three items are effective anti-cancer killing, crossing the blood-brain barrier. Those three items.
Well, is it safe? Because that's what Debbie Martin wants to know. Debbie Allen Martin wants to know: is it safe?
Is what safe? Let's see.
I'm assuming she's talking about all this stuff that we're.
Oh, yeah, it is safe. Yeah, it's safe if you don't. I have safe. I currently have 2 people on my entire protocol. No, 3. I'm sorry, 3. And they're doing just fine, taking everything. No major issues. Like I said, everybody's different.
Yeah, and I mean,
my wife can't even take turmeric. It just.
yeah. I mean, I personally, I know there's well over 100 people that are taking my protocol, and I talk to them frequently. Actually, I talk to a lot of people, and there's nothing, no adverse effects to really speak of. There's some diarrhea initially, maybe some cramping or headaches for a couple of days initially, and after that it kind of subsides. And then typically people report about 10, 14 days into it, they have a shift of energy a little bit. I don't know what that's attributed to be honest, but it's pretty consistent with everybody. Um, quite a few people do report that, and so I think clinically speaking, just from the published reports and whatnot that I've come across, there's like minimal or next to zero toxicity in your system. So and I do know that the big brother to most of the stuff like membendazole, that's currently given in insane dosage for brain cancer, but selectively. They don't give it to everybody. And there were studies with that, like an insane dosage that is 100 times larger than what I'm talking about. So um, yeah, no. So I would venture to say it's safe. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't know the long term effects of taking horse paste, um, but I do know the long term effects of cancer. I do. I'm familiar with those long term effects, and
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not opt out of that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I played the game right. I mean, I was a good boy. I did all my Western medicine stuff. I took my vaccines. I did, I was a sheep. I did everything that I was supposed to do. Um, and then they gave up on me. So what am I going to do? Nothing. No. So is it safe? Yeah, it's safe. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. And what does it taste like? It tastes like living. It tastes. I mean, these are all the questions I get. Oh, what does the paste taste like? It tastes like being alive. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like being no evidence of disease, baby. That's what it tastes like. So, I mean, honestly, there's really next to no taste at all. Honestly, I try to keep things festive and positive because I don't like to think of what a serious topic this is. But it is. This is.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
all
like I said,
relevant.
everybody's
So
different. I mean, it's all safe, but you know, scientifically it's safe, but everybody has different reactions. So, yeah.
what do you know? What do you know about neuropathy? This is actually a good question. I'm kind of curious about it because I have really bad neuropathy myself. Um, that their husbands taking Gero formulas, L-glutamine to help with neuropathy. If that's okay, I don't. I'm not familiar with that. I have really bad neuropathy, and I was taking a gabapentin, and it was actually giving me seizures. So it's I got off of that, and actually, I don't take anything for neuropathy anymore, but I should because I have it really bad. You know anything about neuropathy, Randy?
Yeah, my dad had it pretty bad. I wouldn't take the glutamine just because of the fact you want to block it from the cancer. I know the tumor, the side effects. What else? The DMSO will help with that too. That helps with neuropathy. And I don't know the other ones, but there are things in my protocol that do help with that side effects. But yeah, I would definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't supplement with glutamine just
You would
based on the
not.
science. Just based on the science that you don't want to be feeding the
Yeah,
cancer.
and Judy's husband is taking it, so he should not be taking
Like I said, yeah, there's other things that
it. Yeah.
dual effect of fighting the cancer and so.
All right, so Debbie Allen Martin, she actually clarified some things here. So the full question is: all of this safe for middle school age children, and if so, would the dosage be the same, or would go by body weight? Now, I know what my answer would be for this. Kind of curious what your answer would be. You want to go first, or you want
Yeah,
me
I
to
would
go?
say definitely you wouldn't take the same dosage as an adult. That's with anything. You definitely want to drop the dose, go by weight. You know, like any medication.
Yeah. So
Aspirin. Yeah,
I don't know if I'd go by weight. Um, I think I would take a lesser dose. Um, but it also, is this a prophylactic approach, or is this a cleanse, uh, or is this for active disease? What are we asking about? Is there already disease running through your body? If that's the case, you're riddled with disease. I don't know that I would not take the same dose. I don't think cancer knows how much you weigh, but that's just my thought on it. However, this is my kid. I probably start him a little bit lower, and then I start him a little bit lower, and I kind of work my way up a little bit. But conversely, I will say this: there was 700,000 studies conducted in Zanzibar, in Africa, on their entire population. I mean, reference river blindness. I mean, in all fairness, it wasn't about cancer, but they're all kids. They dosed them heavily with albendazole and uh, like 4 or 5 different antiparasitic dewormers. So, and that actually saved their entire country's population. And that was those are infants and very lightweight adults. Um, I mean, geez, they they don't have an obesity problem there, that's for sure. But yeah, so I mean, I just don't think the toxicity is something that would raise a concern to me where I wouldn't give it to a child. However, if it's my child, maybe I'm a little bit cautious about how much I get. Maybe I start them, at a 222 dose and then go up from there. Maybe I don't whack them with 1,000 right off the bat, but I mean, I think it's important to I I don't want to say I don't want to say treat the disease differently, but you got to treat the kid differently. I think that if it's you fight the disease the same way, but you take a little bit of a different approach because of, well, you gotta look at the patient. You gotta look at the person who's taking it. And what they can, what they're capable of doing. And their body will talk to them also. I think that'll also come into play if the cramp or something like that, then you might want to dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with the dewormer. But I was speaking more like for like the components, like the tagament, the other components, I would definitely, and then, work your way up.
Oh, geez, you know what? I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I didn't even really think about the other group. I'm sorry. I was just automatically thinking about the dewormer. Sorry.
no, you're good. Yeah, I agree with you though. Yeah, you hit it on the head. Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
all right. I thought that was a question. Bonnie, is this a question about amazing results? What did you have? 999, something or other. Your leg was gone. I swear, next time we do this, I'm going to bring my cheaters. I just didn't know how it was going to work out this time. Normally, I don't have to read anything when I do these recordings, so I don't bring my little glasses. I have like these little old man cheaters, from the dollar store,
Right.
because I'm in denial about being blind. Uh, 300 or 600 milligrams. Santa was asking Bonnie.
What's that for? Yeah.
I don't know what that's for.
I think I'm
I
guessing
think I think Bonnie.
maybe it's my protocol.
I don't know. Bonnie and Sadie are having a conversation. I don't know what it's about.
I'm just going to take a guess. I'm going to say in my protocol, I have times of the tocotrienols twice a day. That's for the therapeutic effect. I'm just getting.
Okay. Um, for the ALA. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, maybe I missed where the question started at. I don't know what they're talking about. All right. So anyway, well, listen. The intention was to do this for an hour, and I don't know if I hate to get off of this thing without answering people's questions if there's anything lingering out there. Obviously, the basic questions that we're getting from people is where can I find the protocol? Where where is this? Where is it? People are asking questions that are just posted right in front of their face, and they're just not taking the time. But conversely, a lot of people are messaging me on, like, they're DMing me personally instead of on the page, and and the- and they're not even they didn't even know there was a group page. They're just messaging me directly. They didn't even know that there was a Facebook Live or a Facebook group page. So I think that I got to figure out how to link everything to. I don't know. I got to figure. And I'm open for suggestions, by the way, if anybody knows anything about this stuff. Imagine how big this thing would be if I actually knew what I was doing. But
I think you did pretty good.
well, we have. She's asking about my. Okay. My pharmacist brother-in-law uses it for neuropathy, and it does help. So, okay, so that's what they were talking about. They were talking. I was so lost. I'm so sorry. So I guess Bonnie was in a conversation about the neuropathy situation, and 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 then she had recommended. What did she recommend for that, Randy?
Yeah, 600 milligrams. Yeah, I agree with that.
Alpha lipid acid.
Yeah, it would help. I agree with that. Yeah, you can do that.
So do ALA 600 milligrams for neuropathy.
Like I said, there are components in my protocol that help with that. Um, it's good
Why did I
stuff.
ever
Yeah.
know about this? Yeah, thank you, Bonnie. So why didn't I ever know about this? Bonnie says she said that for me, but I mean, I don't know. Man, I have really bad neuropathy. I never knew that that was a thing. Randy, what else are you holding out on me?
There's so much stuff. There's more stuff than what we do know about.
Kevin, you have a files tab on your Facebook page. You can create the file to upload with links.
Someone asked about taking glutamine is just a prophylactic. I mean, it's good. Most powerful antioxidant there is. It'll help with your immune system and lots of other things. But yeah, that's a good antioxidant.
Yeah, okay, so ALA is a good antioxidant as well. Boy, look at Bonnie with her research and self. Yeah, no, I didn't know anything about that. So now, I mean, here I talk to Bonnie all the time, and I talk to you all the time, and neither one of you guys said, "Hey, Kevin, I know you have some bad neuropathy." Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But no, see, that's why I love this community here because I'm just always learning stuff myself. Um, the research is awesome. So, what is that? Can you pronounce that? Benfotiamine.
I've never heard of that one. Yeah,
Benfotiamine.
and fought them. Yeah,
Benfotiamine.
benfotiamine or something.
Benfotiamine is also used for neuropathy. Benfotiamine. I'm gonna have to Google that one
I've never heard
because
of
I
that
don't
one.
know
No.
anything about that. But Marie, thank you for bringing that one to the surface here. We'll have to dig into that one. I am not familiar. If you have any information on that, feel free to share it because I don't know anything about that. But you know what? I said this before. Somebody got a little bit snippy with me because they're like, "Oh, well, you should only take fenbendazole once in the morning and don't take it after that or whatever." And I was like, you know what? That's bad advice because
Yeah,
there's a
that's
half
not good.
life in your body, and that's bad advice. And they got kind of snippy with me and said, well, I could tell you all these people that it worked for, da 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 da. Well, you know what? It's just bad advice. I don't care.
I
Yeah,
agree.
okay. I mean, a million things work for a million people. That's great. all I can tell you is what clinically there's evidence that it's bad advice. Clinically speaking, it's just bad advice. From a science level, there's a half life in your body. But people mean well. And it's hard to say, hey, listen, that's maybe not the right thing to say, but you got to be careful what you're picking up. Make sure and I don't care who says it. If there's not there's kind of like a criteria that I have, that before I buy into anything, there has to be a few things that are met. There has to be clinical evidence that has been published by a reputable clinical institution. There has to be um, there has to be scientific evidence to support it. It has to be logical, and there has to be survivor testimony. There has to be survivor testimony to accompany that. One without the other. If one of those three things is missing, I won't even entertain it. And that's kind of now. If all three of those things are present, then I'll dig into it. And at the end of that digging, I still might not be sold on it, but at least I'll know. I don't do anything unless those three criteria is met. I won't even waste my time. But anyway, so body Sawyer. What do we got?
Oh yeah, glutamine's good. Glutathione is, if you're looking for antioxidant, glutamine is the powerful one there is. I'm not, but yeah, glutamine is a supplement.
Phew.
That's a loaded question.
Phew. Oh, sorry. Okay, Bonnie just posted. Yeah, that Bonnie. She's so great. Beast. What do you think about B17? Is that what it says?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
B17 apricot seeds.
Oh, stay away from apricot seeds. That's a good question. My general
Yeah.
take on that is anything you take, it's got two categories. Either it's non-toxic or it's toxic. Apricot seeds definitely they process into cyanide. I know a lot of people take them in lab conditions. There's only 2 documented human, and in both those trials, it was a 100% single person benefited. Only some people became toxic, from the toxic levels. So you will not find a human trial anywhere that says it works. So, and it just logically it processes into cyanide. It's not good for you. So I don't see any anti-cancer benefits from that at all. You're yourself sick. In fact, a couple of people that were taking them in very low dose. It only can put you in the emergency room. But they were taking, I believe, like 2 seeds a day, and couldn't figure out why they were having such bad gut cramps and gut issues. So
Yeah.
I had them stop that immediately.
Well, and there's also, I mean, there's also this synthetic. I mean, so apricot seeds are going to be, promote the cyanide effect, right? Because of the chemical reaction, and in your B12 and your super B12 complex and stuff like that, if you look, no, it's a $10 word. It's like a multisyllabic word. It says cyanide, whatever, but the root word of it is cyanide. So you could, if you see that on your label, go ahead and toss that shit right in the garbage too, because it's all the same stuff. It's promoting, the reaction chemically in your body is cyanide. So I just kind of try to stay away from scary words like that. So
Well,
um,
and what confuses people is you find a product that may be promising in the lab. They're just tests themselves, and it shows great promise. But then if you try it on humans,
yeah.
that's a totally different effect. And that's the case with apricots. Promise and anti-cancer properties in the lab, but when you take it, it does just the opposite. It's just going to make you sick. It's not going to kill the cancer.
Hey, your protocol when you designed yours, it was based on pancreatic or prostate.
Pancreatic.
Okay. So pancreatic cancer metastatic to the bone. Now I think I would lean towards your protocol for that.
Yeah.
Especially
DMSO penetrates it in the bone. So yeah.
yeah. And that's I mentioned before, like the DMSO, some of these powerhouses that I don't have in my protocol, I really like that it's in yours, so if there's some stuff that I would have added, it would have been like the berberine or the DMSO, all heavy hitters, that they just didn't make the cut with my protocol, but I'm glad they're in yours. And like I kind of I like to cherry pick out of yours because there's so many ingredients, like I cherry pick the stuff that applies to me, so, but yeah, I think that I would lean more towards Randy's protocol for the metastatic cancer to the bone, uh, but the underlying cancer being the prostate cancer. I think that I would kind of lean towards his. I mean, I have had people with prostate cancer that have had success with my protocol, but I don't know if they had mets to the bone. And because you have mets to the bone, I think that it's imperative to get ahead of it. And I think that I don't. I mean, if I'm being critical, I guess I didn't say anything. I I kind of understand. Like Randy had said that his dosage for the fenbendazole or whatever the antiparasitic that we were talking about, your dosage is a little bit lower because you have so many ingredients in there. You didn't want to flood your body with too many things. But with you having mets to the bone, my thought is to you got to get ahead of it. So I'd shock and all that stuff. But you know, that's also because I don't have 18 ingredients in there, so I don't really know where the balance is, Randy. I don't know if you have an opinion about that, but that's a tough one.
Yeah, I think because it penetrates bone, so it would definitely. That's one of the few things I
Yeah,
know
no,
that
I would
work.
definitely do. Yeah, no, I would definitely do yours. I just think that I would do a heavier uh, paste, a heavier paste dose. But I would definitely do your protocol.
Yeah, with bone mets, yeah, I agree.
Um, so Eddie, they're saying Randy's protocol fits you more. Where's Eddie? Where's Eddie? Where's Eddie? I don't know where Eddie is. There you are, Eddie. I have stage 4 metastasis. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what I just said. Yeah. See, You know what? This internet thing is really starting to catch on. I'm really
Right.
starting to figure this thing out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, somebody's asking. I just want to make it clear that I do not have cancer. I've never had cancer. Um, I was a caregiver for someone that had cancer. So my madness is because I failed, so to speak, with my dad. I wanted to change that with everybody else. There's too many people that and don't know what to do. So yeah, so I've never had cancer,
Well,
but yeah.
well, I am I'm a cancer clown, and I got to tell you, I didn't do anything to change my diet. Um, but that's not entirely true. So let me back up. So I didn't really do a diet thing. I did a lifestyle thing, and you got to understand something. I had colorectal cancer, and so my issues were in the gut, and that had a lot to do with my diet anyway. So when they took my colon out and they took my rectum out, rectum damn near killed them. Now when they took all that stuff out, my digesting just wasn't the same as everybody else's. So I had to adjust my diet anyway because of that. Now, it, I'm a foodie and I like sugar. I like cakes. I like this and that. I like my sweet tea. Whatever. And I'm just a glutton, nasty slob of a pig, and I can't control myself. I have zero discipline. So it would have been a death sentence for me if I went crazy with a diet because I just wouldn't do it. That's kind of why I only have 5 ingredients in my protocol because I got to keep it simple, or else I just won't do it. I have no discipline. So did I did I do something crazy? Did I go keto? Did I do no? What I did was I moderated everything, and I got smart. I know that sugars are terrible, so I just dialed it back. I wasn't such a glutton anymore. I, I I cut out processed foods. I minimized my bread. I didn't eliminate bread. If I'm going to eat a burger, I'm going to eat a burger. I want a bun. I'm not a come on, So eh, I didn't eliminate everything. I just moderated everything, and that helped me both with my digestion and my process, my bowel movements. That helped me with everything, and I was able to maintain my weight. I cachexia never really set in. I mean, it threatened, but I was able to. I was able to kind of. I mean, it was getting away from me for a while, but I was able to kind of slow it down by not being so drastic. Everybody gets drastic. Listen, you need weight on your body to fight this battle. There is strength in weight. So people say, "Oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and cut all this." They make drastic changes in their diets, and then they wonder why is it that they just lost 50 pounds in 3 weeks? You know, the reason is because you're not doing it smart. You can slow. Listen, you didn't catch cancer in a day from eating sugar. This was an extensive period of abuse that you put your body into, that you put your body through. So I think if you're drastic about changing your diet, you're going to end up, it's a slippery slope. You're going to end up losing weight. You're going to end up not following through. You're going to, listen, if it's a diet, who follows a diet? Nobody follows a diet. Oh, I have a cheat day. That's not a diet. Don't do a diet. Do a lifestyle change, because you're going to need that lifestyle change when you start getting healthier and you start building back a better version of yourself. Because you're not going to build back the same version of yourself. You're not going to build back the same person who got sick. You got sick for a reason. You're here for a reason. So you don't want to fulfill the definition of insanity. You're going to have to make some changes in your life anyway. So do it now. Don't think about it like, oh, I don't want to feed the cancer. No. If you take on a task. It's going to be a chore, and listen, just make a lifestyle change. Don't be a pig. Just don't be. You know right from wrong. You know. I listen. I know that if I eat too much bread tonight for dinner, it's going to constipate me. I'm going to be on the toilet all night. I'm going to be cussing at everybody. You know what you know. You know your body. Do the right thing. Listen to your body. Be a caveman. Pretend processed stuff. Avoid a box. Avoid processed. Avoid whatever. Just eat natural stuff. Is all I'm saying, and in moderation. And don't be a fool. Listen to your body. Can I say problem with seeds from the studies? Bonnie wants the problem with the seeds from what studies I've seen.
Oh, yeah, they're talking about the seeds again. To put it to rest, yeah, promise in the lab, but with humans, it's not. It doesn't work. There's no human trial out there that shows the effectiveness positively with apricot seeds. It's just the opposite. Out there, why take something that's toxic? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan. I mean, I know there's a million things. I mean, from biblical times, the frankincense, the myrrh. I mean, there's been positive research on all of it, mistletoe, and this. And there's been positive research on all this stuff, on the efficacy of this battling disease, but I don't really think there's any evidence that it destroys the disease. So I just kind of, if I'm going to be limited to what I do, it's going to be something that destroys, not just suppresses.
Well, and to touch on that in
controls.
the logical way, if it's killed somebody, that's a red flag. And yes, those seeds have killed people. So why would you put anything in a
Yeah,
product?
yeah, yeah. That's yeah. So this has never killed anybody that we're talking about. So there is that. I mean,
Right.
let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole different kid. You make a good point though, because people are taking vaccines that are killing people left and right. And oh, nobody's ever died from it. Really?
Right.
People are dropping like flies in my neck of the woods, and they've all gotten vaccine, unexplained deaths. So maybe there's no correlation. I don't know, but
Person has died from a certain item. I would not feel comfortable putting that in my protocol, even if it was only one person. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer, but it's a red flag.
yeah, if you told me that fenbendazole has a history of killing people, I'm not.
It's off the
I'm
table,
not
right?
taking it. Yeah, it's off the table, right then. So, yeah, so I'll go ahead and remove that. Anything that says cyanide in it, we're going to go ahead and eliminate.
No, yeah, not necessary.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of Maria never took any, but there's been a lot of testimonials, and I don't know if you guys were on the page, and Randy, I think I sent it to you. Did you guys see the? Because I left it up there for a long time. The guy that said you could drink your own urine.
Oh my
that
God!
Cures cancer.
I went around and around with that guy.
I left it up there because I just wanted everybody to see. And he produced clinical studies from like, I don't know, some Mickey Mouse place or whatever. But he like had literature to support whatever it was. And I was like, oh my God. I guess you could find, if you Google, that's why I say, I don't care what you show me. If it doesn't meet all three of those things, logic, scientific evidence, and survivor testimony. Well, this guy was claiming that he was the survivor. Then he showed me clinical evidence that was definitely not legit. And I said, well, you didn't meet the logic test, man. The logic factor does not jive. So, so then, and I just wanted to really entertain it. So I Googled it. And the first thing it said was, um, your body excretes urine for a reason. It's getting rid of all your toxins.
Right, and then you put them back
So
in.
why would you turn around and put them back into your bodies? I just, and I'm like, that's so logical, but why did I think that first?
I
But
love it.
yeah, so how do we find your page? Randy they want to know how to find your page. Um, well, his protocol is on the announcement section of the Beating Cancer Today page. Yeah, Randy. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and close this thing up, but before we do, um, people can get in touch with you. Your screen name is well, you want to tell them all?
It's Roxy Maximus. That's me. My name's Randy. I have two profiles. One is my original Facebook, which is my family and stuff, and then I have my cancer, Roxy Maximus. So yeah, you can reach me. Just hit me up. Roxy Maximus.
I don't like. I never even asked you. Where did Roxy Maximus come from? So, well, we know who we at least now we can put a face to the Roxy Maximus.
Right, there you
But
go.
it doesn't even. I just I I don't care. I don't care what your screen name is. I'm just so grateful that you respond and that you respond intelligently with, man, you are, when you respond to something, you got like an arsenal that you bring with you. Like you throw out the word salad of explanation of this is why, and then blam, 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 blam. Here's the documentation to support it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, bam, bam, bam. It's like you're hitting people with just literature and facts and
Appreciate
research and studies
it.
and evidence, and it's like it's like just at your fingertips at all times. It's pretty great, man. And I'm just really grateful that you're on here.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Should have said that first, Randy. I think I don't know if Sadie Lynn is saying that you should have said who you were first because they didn't know to listen to you.
Now everybody
That's
knows.
kind of how I figured. Now everybody knows. Well, I mean, I put that in the post. I thought I didn't know if you didn't want everybody to know. I didn't. I kind of felt, but I remembered you said it in our last get together there. So I figured if you
Right.
have it,
Yeah, no,
so,
I'm not trying to hide
but
nothing.
all right, man. Well, no, no, no. And you know what? It's not that. A lot of people are just private people. And that's you got to
Yeah.
respect that. Um, people have families and whatnot or whatever. So, occasionally the raspberry. Somebody ate a raspberry something or other. I think. Yeah, you can find his protocol. Randy's protocol is on the Beating Cancer Today group page. It's in the announcement section. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Thank you guys all for participating in this, and thank you very much, Randy, for participating in this. And
Glad to do
listen,
it. Thanks for having me.
if you guys have any questions throughout throughout your journey, period, you can continue asking. Randy will answer. I'll answer. You can DM
Absolutely.
me or DM him, or we actually have a DM that we do together that we just bounce things off of each other. Like if I'm struggling with a question to answer a question, or if I just want another point of view, I'll bounce stuff off of him all the time. So, and it's their strengths, and everybody's got different kinds of cancer, and everybody's got different perspective of things. So I think it's important to have more than one voice out there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and thank you guys for policing our own. Also, I kind of got inundated over the weekend. This the videos, a couple of the videos went pretty viral. I guess there's like 5 million views on one of them,
Nice.
and so our membership just it doubled over the weekend. So the Beating Cancer Today group page wasn't on the video. It was just my name. So everybody DM'd me directly, but nobody had any idea of what the page was. So I had to I was answering all these questions, and then it dawned on me, nobody's making a connection to where all this literature is already posted. So I had to refer everybody back to the page, and instead of answering each individual question over and over again, I had hundreds of emails over the weekend. But it was really cool. It was really cool because that just means that people are sharing these videos, and it actually got onto some influencer. Is that what you call them? Influencers? Is that what they're called? I don't know. Some social media influencers or whatever. So that was cool. It really helped this platform grow a little bit. But it also kind of sucks because that just means that there's so many more sick people. That
Yeah. Too
I
many.
mean, everybody's life is touched by cancer. It's just incredible. So, all right, guys. If you guys have any other questions, and we're going to do this periodically also. And tomorrow we got a pretty good Warrior Wednesday, and so make sure you guys watch that video at noon. Is coming out, and it'll also stay posted on the thread, so you won't miss it. And we got a few good ones coming up. So make sure you guys share these videos and stay vigilant. Keep up this battle, and keep doing what we're doing because we're fighting a good fight. I feel like we're winning. All right, guys. So if you guys have any other things to add or whatever, you can always reach out to us individually. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys for tuning in. All right. We'll talk to you all soon, Randy. I'll talk to you in a minute here.
All right.